I know, first time in a long time. Answer Shafford's after.
Definitely
She's in, I think she wanted to go to a conference in San Diego this weekend.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, that's not very loud. Hold on.
Excuse me. All right. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Excuse me. You like to project, that's all. Back, try the opposite both.
This is really dull still. Hello? Okay. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. There we go. All right. Well, you'll notice Cantor's still not here. She's on. She's actually at the ACC convention, or Cantor convention, and also having some vacation. So we're happy. She'll be back next week, and I'll be gone for next Friday with my grandkids. But that's a good thing. But we are very excited to have Rebecca Wagner with us. Oh, cool. That's our friend. So it's so good to have Becca with us. So let's sing loudly. Becca's not done this in a while. She's nervous.
Not a while.
Yeah. Well, she's got this, and we are very, very excited.
We do some old school melodies.
There you go.
The Rachel Michael thing.
There you go. How do you want to begin?
There's a new tune that Lord Danoff Robinson taught me a long time ago, and it just felt fitting to do it again tonight.
How good and how pleasant it is that we are together as one family. We begin or continue with Hine Matov on page 11. Continue on page 12. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Po'achem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue on page 19. I think you're doing verses, the first and last verses of the Chadut.
Yes. So you'll have to turn the page to get to the last one.
You're very professional.
Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha dodi,
Lecha dodi likrat kala,
B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'an v'cham yuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'teferet v'nitzilah. Lecha
בשמחה ובצהלה, תורנו נעם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי,
דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
We continue on page 25, the lighting of our Shabbat candles. So Becca's going to lead us with all of the children that are here, which all three of you. So come on up, Ray, and her children.
In every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of chaos seems eternal. Yet form emerges, light dawns, and life is born. In the beginning, the Most High made heaven and earth. In every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of ignorance which smothers human dignity. Darkness of fear which chokes the creative will. The darkness of tyranny which stifles freedom. The Most High said, "Let there be light." The Sabbath candles celebrate the divine power that makes for life and light.
Look over there, I can't believe that bird, I've never seen it. Not one of you turned around. You're on to my shtick. So shocked after 24 years.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed is the eternal tower that inspires our people to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Blessed is the source of life and light.
May we be blessed with the light of dignity, creation, and freedom. May we be blessed with the light of joy, love, and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe introduce someone you don't know. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Good job. So with our 3-ring binder, we actually have 3 different services in here. And the first service, which is what we've mostly been doing, is my favorite one. It is themed on freedom, which is obviously a very important thing for us to think about this weekend as we approach Independence Day in America. I think it's important as we think about our freedom to recognize that there are some people that will not be celebrating July 4th that are Americans. And I think it's important for us to lean into why that's the case. I really believe that. This country's not been good ever. Let's be very clear. Our people know what it was when we came and immigrated over the different immigration waves, how we were treated. Every group that's migrated in this country has been given surahs by this country. Something for us to remember, as there are still those that need to come into this country and want to come into this country. And I think that's just something for us to kind of think about as we go through this service, thinking about freedom, but also thinking about the fact that the freedom needs to be for all people. And the fact that it hasn't been, and it's not, makes it an incomplete freedom for all of us. So I don't really feel all the freedom I should be feeling. You are in the same boat as me. Until everyone is free, none of us are free, as we've all heard over. Bottom page 26, let's join together in those 2 paragraphs. Shabbat is a day of freedom and peace, a celebration of life and creation. May it open our eyes to the goodness we have attained, and our hearts to the goodness we may yet achieve. Let moments of holiness enter the world, uniting matter and spirit in the joy of wholeness, as we welcome Shabbat, the day of days. Now Shabbat is with us. Now reach out for the divine in ourselves and in the world.
In freedom, each of us sees a Sabbath of the soul.
Here, time and place invite our commitment to the ancient purposes that are our present hopes. Now time and place are one, bringing promise of triumph over anguish and despair. And when we shall have gone from this place on our separate ways, may our words and promises bring fulfillment and peace.
May our words and promises become deeds, bringing fulfillment and peace.
In the sanctuary, we seek to free ourselves from the fears and conflicts that estrange us from one another.
May our words and thoughts give us hope and strength.
We therefore claim the eternal power in the universe that helps us to grow in understanding and love and leads us to freedom. Continue on page 30 with our call to worship, our Baruch Hu, and as you know, in this prayer book, arrows point up and down to help you to know what to do. Yeah, you know what's going on. Follow this lady here. Page 31. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, v'tbuna meshane itim, ma'chalif et hazmanim, misader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom medi layla, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, ולחי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים. Page 32. There was silence, there was chaos, there was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds. Now order reigns where chaos once held sway.
The law makes evening fall, the law brings on the dawn.
The moon follows accustomed paths, constellations their patterned ways.
Sovereign is the will that orders the stars in their courses in the endless skies. Sovereign is that will.
Page 34. And how unyielding is the will of our people Israel. After the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky, Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life.
So day and night, early and late, we rejoice in the study of Torah. We walk by the light of His love. May our life be our days. We praise the source of life and love.
Open up
Our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one.
Bless you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 36. Yeah.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together you shall love the eternal your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God. We worship the power that unites all the universe into one great harmony. That oneness, however, is not yet. We see imperfection, disorder, and evil all about us. But before our eyes is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. These two we have known in some measure. Their There's evil enough to break the heart, good enough to exalt the soul. Our people has experienced untold suffering and wondrous redemptions. We await a redemption more lasting and more splendid than any of the past. When will redemption come?
When we master the violence that fills our world.
We look upon others as we'd have them look upon us.
We grant to every person the rights we claim for ourselves.
Once we were in bondage, then we were free. In this first liberation, our people saw revealed the power of the Most High. They perceived that God's presence redeems time and event from the hands of tyrants. We too acclaim the power that makes for freedom. We sing the song that celebrates our deliverance from Egypt and all bondage. Page 40 and 41. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. May we together, may we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. May night spread over us a shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, the blessing of rest. There'll come a time when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish. There will come a day of happiness, contentment, and peace. Praise be the source of joy within us, for the night and its rest, for the promise of peace. We continue now with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah on pages 42 and following.
Elohei
Page 44, we continue responsibly. Blessed is the power that moved our ancestors and sustained them on their journey.
Abraham left familiar ways, set forth to an unknown land, and learned to silence terror with a ready heart. Sarah bore a steadfast commitment to God and was ultimately rewarded.
Isaac came to know how parents may risk their children for the sake of a vision. Out of his weakness, he forged the strength to live and love. Rebecca's kindness and generosity provisioned her well for the journey to her destiny.
Jacob dreamed and wrought and grew, at last to become the blessing he wrestled for.
Those who came before us sent forth a blessing fashioned out of their longing to outgrow themselves, and their longing is ours.
Blessed is the power that sustains us on our journeys to the distant shores of blessing.
Love is a thread that binds our lives in a lasting fabric which time shall fray.
Time shall fray, but only to be rewoven by each generation.
Each generation will lift the fallen to their feet and hold them as they learn to walk.
And as they learn to walk, the sickness of our time will be healed by those who drink deep from ancient wells of truth.
From ancient wells of truth they will draw strength to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Praise the source of life and power, who has implanted within us immortal yearning, undying hopes.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום ינוח סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Holiness of this day is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments, hour by hour, to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. Oh, may the all we feel at times, at the miracle of one another united in prayer, be with us tomorrow. Keep tenderness in our words, our touch, and our look.
Praise to the world and the power within it, and thanks for holiness.
We do need a little more tenderness in our world, don't you think? Absolutely. Page 49. Together, we give thanks for the return of our people to Zion, remembering the pain of her birth. She may have peace and safety. We give thanks for the freedom in this land. We pray for the peoples of every continent. May their highest hopes be made real, the noblest visions fulfilled. Praise be the strength and love that makes every land and people grow toward justice and right. Page 52. We live in two worlds, the one that is and the one that might be. Nothing is ordained for us, neither delight nor defeat, neither peace nor war. Life flows, we must freely choose. We can, if we will, change the world that is into the world that may come to be. As you're taught from of old, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from deceitful speech. Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing it. The whole Torah exists only to bring peace, as it is written. Let justice dwell in the wilderness, righteousness in the fruitful field. Then all shall sit under their vines and under their fig trees. I invite you to close your Siddur, your purpose, for just a moment. It's our custom on Kabbalat Shabbat to have a word of Torah. So here's your word of Torah. You like that, huh? Matovu alecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. This prayer may ring a bell to you. It is chanted nearly, well, basically every morning service. It is also one of the 4 blessings that Bilam expresses to Israel in this week's Torah portion, Balak, from the book of Numbers. From these blessings, the rabbis teach that Bilam's original curses were that Israel should lose her sanctuary, not have independence, and a national homeland. What is interesting to note is that these curses impact the community's ability to be together. Well, we all know about that, don't we? Although we are done with the pandemic, we are still, I think, impacted by it. And the impact on many of us has been intense. We recognize how important it is to be in community with others, The lack of going to restaurants, events, and travel has had a tremendous impact. The psychological impact of not being able to do what we wanted and needed, as well as the fear of getting the dreaded illness, was real for all of us. But our spirits have taken a hit by us not being able to be together. Now that we are more removed from what we all went through, we can look at the true impact this pandemic has had on us. That will actually be the theme of our first potluck dinner discussion in 2 weeks on July 14th. Why? Because honestly, I really think that we haven't leaned into what we've all been through. I think we have kind of very much so in our society, we go through these traumas, and then we just kind of act like it didn't happen. And so that's what we're gonna talk about, is how are we all really doing with this? 'Cause I think it's impacted all of us in a huge way. But as I mentioned before, this portion focuses on the power we each have to curse and to bless. We all know that in the end, curses lead down a negative road, whereas blessing, and blessing another especially, is one of the greatest things we can do to another person and with another person. May we feel blessed and not cursed. May we act with a sense of blessing in our lives, and may that blessing be the energy we all focus on, especially as we enter into July 4th and Independence Day for many of our citizens, our fellow citizens. So I invite you just to take a few moments in silent reflection, maybe to kind of focus on that energy of blessing and curse a little bit. And the goal for all of us is to merge focused on that blessing piece and to kind of minimize the curses that are around us. Please be focused now on those blessings in your silent reflection. focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. That illness may be a physical one, a spiritual one, or a mental one. On this Shabbat, we think of Jenna Agrovich, Sally Mendez, Hannah Bat Miriam, Bobby Barco, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Feinstock, Pauline Bronstein, Carol Brindell, Rich Burns, Ina Bruns, Melissa Champer, Chu Chi, Talia Sorowski, Deanna Courtright, David Dierig, Midori Dierig, Henry Hansen, Jenna Fishoff-Hyman, Carolyn Franklin, Holly Fugit, Marilyn Fuller, Roberta Gabriel, Marcia Gieser, Charlene Griffin, Jack Huff, Olivia Hand, Linda Harris, Gary Height, Jennifer Johnson, Mimi Jones, Sylvia Karp, Don Kepler, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Mark Kusanovich, Patricia Kusanovich, Carol Lesage, Carol Lerner, Bobby Lutman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Gerald Maddox, Missy Marsh, Stephen Marceri, Rich McCarthy, Maria Bita McClure, Rich Meador, Beverly Meador, Gunther Myberg, Barbara Wanamaker-Neiman, Glenn Overstreet, Melanie Pearson, Alice Pons, Heidi Preston, Sherry Prezant, Tad Prezant, Stephanie Rasmussen, Harriet Reisner, Linda Rogers, Julius Rodriguez, Eva Rose, Devone Ross, Daryl Sanchez, Laura Sanders, Glenn Sanders, Victoria Schneider, Shirley Silverman, Kathleen Spencer Jones, Jonathan Stern, Tamara Bat Iris Veyosef, Kirsten Teague, Donna Thyman, Gina Thrower, Carol Thayer, Sue Timpson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Eleanor Williams, Sue Witten, David Weiner, Monica Wiley, Yaakov Ben Ada, Brandon Yarkin, Tammy Ziegelhofer. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We wish upon all those you mentioned and those remain unnamed refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery. As we join together in Misha Beirach with by Debbie Freeman on page 111. 111. That's a big number, Anson. I agree with that. It is. It is. That's a good point.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We now continue with announcements. For first time, did they do this, Virginia? Is this your first time? Second time, maybe? Oh, your first. First time as a member of our board leading the announcements, Virginia Beckett.
No pressure. All right, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Virginia Beck, and as a new board member, I am honored to welcome you to our Courtyard Shabbat, led by Reverend McGott and Rebecca Wagner. Thank you.
Woohoo!
After the service, We invite you to join us for Kiddush, Kamotzi, and Oneg. On July 4th, we invite you to join the clergy and members of our community for San Jose's annual Rose, White, and Blue Parade. We march down the Alameda, and it is fun. It is.
We have bubbles. We're giving out bubbles.
We have bubbles. We have Tootsie Rolls. And
That's what we
I'll
give
be
out.
on a chair on the side cheering you on. Walk. This is an opportunity to celebrate our freedom, and this is an opportunity to think about what freedom means for some of us. Check our website for details. This summer, the rabbis already talked about one of them. We will enjoy 2 potluck discussion Shabbats, once in 2 weeks. After our courtyard service, we will join the clergy for a potluck dinner over discussion for a topic of interest. Bring a kosher style dish to share, and I will be calling the office to find out kosher dish to share. One of the first is July 14th, where our topic will be recovering from COVID and how are we doing. This is a good opportunity to give feedback and ideas, so we hope you'll all come. For you nonfiction book lovers, on July 23rd, the Jewish Nonfiction Book Club will be discussing Jerusalem and Back by Saul Bellow, exploring what it means to be Jewish in the 20th century. Part of what it means to be Jewish is doing mitzvot, and we have 2 opportunities to do this. The Jewish Family Services Backpack Drive begins on July 6th and goes through July 21st. Poster. It's turned the wrong way, but we'll turn it the right way. Awesome. Also look at the QR code and happenings on the poster to purchase items to equip the kids in need to go back to school with their heads held high and their shoulders back. The Tikkun Olam Committee is also supporting this year's American Cancer Society Relay for Life, which will take place on July 28th and 29th at the track in the Campbell Community Center. I have walked that track. It's only a quarter of a mile. We can do it. At least once. You can support the Silicon Valley Jewish team called Jews for a Cure by joining this team, supporting financially, or attending the Havdalah ceremony afterwards, or part of it. Look for the link on the happenings or on our website. And you know what? I bet there's not a family in the congregation today who's not been touched by cancer. This is such a meaningful opportunity. Meanwhile, we hope to see you next week at our Courtyard Shabbat at 6:30. Shabbat Shalom.
Well done. Very good.
Did you mention Pride? On that, all the announcements, there are two tikkun opportunities. It's actually a third one in August. August 27th is when we'll be celebrating Pride in our community in San Jose. There will be an interfaith experience, but the Jewish community is coming together with JCRC. Our synagogue's co-sponsoring with JCRC as well for the Pride March itself. So I think it's really important for us to be out there on August 27th as well. And with that, I think that's enough announcements, Becca. What do you think? Well, I think Ansel wants us to continue the service for another hour or so. So, we continue with Elaine on page 116.
Bayom
we come to the moment in our service, we think about members of our family and community who have died recently in years past. I invite you, if you choose to stand as a sign of love and grief for the person that you're thinking about as that name is mentioned, and to remain standing till all the names on our yard site list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Daniel Ellsworth and Mary Gold, as well as those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning for Evan Aronoff, Mike Kahn, Julian Cannell, excuse me, Laura Danoff Robinson, Robert DeNike, Edith Donath, Mervyn Durlister, Betty Fargo, Nessia Fistrom, Harold Fletcher, Natalie Goldman, Fritz Gottfeld, Jacqueline Hall, Gail Jacobs, Walter Jacobs, Young Kim, Steve Koss, Shirley Lerner, Owen Lurero, Rochelle Marquis, Marianne Mates, Bishop P.J. McGraw, Joyce Mendel, Janice Palmer, Bradley Parkins, Thomas Parkins, Deanna Marie Pender, Herman W. Poland, Ruth Rosenberg, Lawrence Ross, Mitzi Sapper, Randy Shev, Judy Siegel, William Silen, Joan Singer, Jonathan Andrew Stern, Howard Sutkin, Wells Wagner, Sherman Zell. We also think of the following yard sites we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Marlene Alpert, Gerald Benson, Horace Black, Anita Blaustein, Ben Byer, Ed Kahn, Ruth Cohen, Dorothy Davis, Rebecca Decker, Rebecca Lindecker, Hilda Dohon, Nathan Epstein, Gertrude Fisher, Stanford Fox, Dr. Max Mickey Gold, John Grayson, Eric Hansen, Elaine Herzog, Eva Honeg, Esther Jacobson, Benjamin Crandell, Oscar Levin, Martha Levine, Gertrude Lewis, Gertrude K. Marcus, Robert Mauskoff, Sandra Medler, Morris Milgram, Hannah Morris, Stephanie Newhouse, Barry Nydick, Oscar Panikoff, Bessie Pollock, Helga Oster-Remack, Aaron Ress, Harry D. Schwartz, Dorothy Siegel, Abraham Selvin, Ben Spector, Saul P. Willits, Sarah Wisefield, Nancy Wright. Zichronam Libracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as blessings as we together stand for Mourner's Kaddish, page 121. Thinking of all of our loved ones who are missing right now, as well as all of those that fought for our freedom, for our country, who lost their lives for that fight. Yitkadal v'yitkadal shmei Rabba, ve'alma divrach chilutei v'yamishma uchutei, v'chayachon of yomechon, v'chayed v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav uzman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almai. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ועלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. ועושה שלום במקומה ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל שבט תבל ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those who breathed on us, wherever they may be, as we all say together. Amen. So, I'm going to suggest something. We haven't done this in a long time, but kind of having back here reminds me of this. We used to do this a lot. Feel free, if you're comfortable, put your arm around the person next to you as we conclude with Osei Shalom. We used to talk about feeling that sense of kesher, that sense of connection. We all need that. I just realized we haven't had that in a long time, that sense of kesher or connection. For those that are comfortable. Becca, also, just before you do Osei Shalom, I just want to thank you. You were worried, and you had no reason to be. You were fabulous. And I just now will say this, because I don't want to do it in the beginning, but I did her bat mitzvah, so I'm really proud. I'm really proud of my Becca. You did so well. What a man you are. All right, hit it, girl. Say shalom b'mroma, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom.
How's it going?